show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Bass in your face. Bass in your face.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions. But not everyone uses logic. So for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I also have another YouTube channel called Latina Diaspora where I discuss issues pertaining to Latinos in the United States. The link to that channel is in the description. Good evening, Dreamy. Thank you very much for stopping by. And of course, my friend Dreamy has her own YouTube channel where she focuses on issues pertaining to mixed peoples and other related topics. So I'm going to ask that you show some love and subscribe to her channel. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. First of all, I just want to give a huge shout out to all those who've already subscribed to the channel, whether you've been a supporter from the very beginning or just recently joined. I really appreciate your love and continued support. Also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to obtain devices, also those who follow me on social media, and those who watch from the clouds, even the haters. So what I'm going to ask that you do, if you have not done so already, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and set the bell notifications to all. So therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. Okay. So tonight we're having another episode of Open Discussion. Now, normally I will do this on a Friday night. The reason why I'm not doing that is because I'm going to be away this weekend. In fact, I'm going to be attending a leadership retreat in Atlantic City. So that's the reason why I'm doing this stream on a Wednesday night, not a Friday night. Okay. I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought. So what we do in open discussion is that I will share my views regarding several topics. And of course, you, the audience, will have an opportunity to share your views as well. Also, the audience, have an opportunity to suggest any topics that you would want for me to talk about. I will do my best to comply. At the same time, if it's something that I do not have a great deal of knowledge about, I will be transparent and say so. There are some topics which I prefer not to get into because it's too controversial or what have you. Now, let me just discuss next week's schedule. I will be doing lives on this channel Sunday night, Thursday night, and Saturday night. Okay, usually I don't go live on a Saturday night, but there's always a first time for everything. And also, I'll probably do a live on my other channel Monday night. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is regarding what happened to Congresswoman Iman Mohan. Um, Now, I understand that she is a very controversial person. She has made many nasty remarks regarding the state of Israel, and she has her issues regarding Donald Trump. So let me just explain to you what happened. She was doing a town hall meeting with members of her constituency, and among one of the things that she had, voiced her opinion, calling for the impeachment of the resignation of Christine, who heads Homeland Security. Apparently, did not sit well with one person. So this person came and actually sprayed the Congresswoman um, with a unknown liquid, and it looked like that she was going, physically confront this person. Um, this person was taken down by security and arrested. Yep. Um, I think Ilan Mohan. I think. Well, she's a Somali congresswoman from the state of Minnesota. Now, let me just state for the record, okay? Do I agree with what a lot of the stuff that she says? No. Does she have the right to say those things? Definitely. Okay. She definitely does have that right. Okay. And unfortunately, we're living in an age where people are not allowed to say whatever the fluff they want to say without, without the fear of being assaulted or attacked or what have you. No, I did not see the bananas and rice speech. I mean, I will have to take a look at that. But again, okay, I'm gonna say supposedly. This is a country where people have the right of freedom of speech, meaning you can say whatever the fluff you want. And not just the people who agree with you, but also the people that we disagree with. Because the problem is this: when we censor one group of people, there's always the fear that we might censor everybody else. And I've said this on multiple occasions, and I'm going to continue to say this. You cannot control what other people say or do. You control what is going to be your reaction. And that's true. Now, if people are going to go around and make false claims about you, okay, um, it's just something that there are times where it's best not to give a response, because basically what you do is you enable um, people just to continue, with their stupidity. Um, it's just that unfortunately, what can I say? The circus is alive and unwell, and unfortunately, the fact that people are not able to argue with others without getting emotional. Okay, and one thing I do want to state: if you're going to use emotion as your um, in case it's try to support your argument, you already lost the argument from the beginning. But unfortunately, we are dealing with people, many of them that have untreated trauma. Okay, people that need therapy, people that need liberation, people that need to be placed in a padded cell, in a straitjacket, in a rubber room. Um, in my 63 plus years of life, I have dealt with all types of people. Okay. I also had dealt with my share of people who are toxic as heck. I also dealt with people who, it's as act so immature that it's laughable when you think about it. Now, I am looking forward to this weekend because I am going to be away. I am going to be at a leadership retreat. Um, so basically, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be exposed to a bunch of workshops when we will learn how to be effective leaders. Also, there'll be town halls. Also, there'll be opportunities for us um, to learn. And let's keep it real. For some people, it's going to be a chance to gamble. For other people, it's going to be a chance to do some shopping. Me, I am not planning to gamble. Yeah, you know what? I have said, okay, I have said this, and I'm not gonna back away. If I had my way, everyone that wants to be a content creator will have to undergo a psychological evaluation in order to be allowed to create a platform. If we were able to do that, that will free the YouTube streets of a lot of these sickos. It will be, it will free us from dealing with emotionally immature people. Now, one thing I have noticed, and one of the reasons why I don't watch Ken 123 is that I'm sorry, but to listen to people complain about other people getting access to the box, okay, and getting upset and getting obsessed because you're not getting access to the box. Um, Instead of spending your time going on and acting like a complete psycho, do yourself a favor and get therapy or get deliverance. Now I have to admit, watching Gigi's last live, where there was this dude that was arguing with Gigi and Dream regarding mixed peoples and things of that nature. It really go into the land of being a nutcase. Now, as an outsider regarding with my interaction with people who are mixed. Some of them are very good, some of them are very bad. Okay, but I notice it's oh boy, thanks for the compliment, Jamie. But look, let me tell you something. I've been dealing with the mixed community for almost 4 years, and I find it bizarre. I find it weird that people who have not engaged in any romantic relationships are arguing with running people who are involved with romantic relationships. It's giving incel vibes, and it just screams the need for therapy. It screams the need for deliverance. It screams the need to be placed in a 72-hour involuntary observation period, okay, for your own safety. Now, one thing I try to do is stay within my lane, avoid the stupidity, avoid the trauma, because frankly, I have enough to deal with at work. Um, I got to deal with the office politics and what have you, and sometimes it really um, borders on the bizarre. And at the same time, I have to deal with some of my fellow union reps, who some of them have major issues. And I hate to say it, but some of these people actually need prayer. But let's, that's their cross to bear, so to speak. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is, of course, Donald Trump's obsession with Greenland. Now, I mean, the fact of the matter is, I don't know a lot about Greenland, other than the fact that it's a humongous island owned by Denmark, and that he wants to get access to the resources that are there. And actually, if the if Donald Trump didn't, was not a complete mental case, what he could have done is to simply say, "Hey, um, we want to build a base, a base. What we can do is give you a whole bunch of money, and whatever intelligence that we have, we'll share with you. Everyone benefits." Of course, that doesn't make any sense to the Donald. Yes, that was a wild string, and I'm gonna be honest. At times, I wish I was on the panel, and then there's times I wish I'm glad I was not there, because believe it or not, I was actually asleep. And all I can say about this poor dude, bless his heart, because he needs prayer. He needs prayer. He needs deliverance. And now, when it comes to the now, when it comes to the term mulatto, I don't use the term a lot. I use the term mixed people. Now I get it. People want to have yeah, they want to have their own individual identity. Mulattoes are no different, and that's perfectly fine. But what gets to be a major issue is that when you try to claim superiority or the other mixed people, whether you be an MGM, whether you be light skin, whether you be MLS, and to be perfectly honest, I don't know a lot of these terms. Uh, but the sad part is that it seems like the people that talk so much about mulattoes are not exactly the best representation of mulattoes. That is just my opinion. Okay, the fact that people are going on and on and on and stressing regarding what who other people date and what have you. Look, in my lifetime, I've dated um, different types of people. My first girlfriend was black. My second girlfriend was white and Jewish. My third girlfriend was Puerto Rican. Uh, my fourth, fifth, and sixth girlfriend were all on people. Hit that like. It doesn't cost you anything, and it does help with the algorithm. And unfortunately, one of the problems that some of the Latinos have is this obsession with regarding the glorification of Spain. Okay, not like like it never dawned on them. It never dawned on them that okay, our culture is a combination of Spain, African, and the indigenous peoples. Okay, and the reason is obvious. When the Spaniards came to the so-called New World, many of them did not bring women with them. So men, being who they are, in order to exercise their carnal desires, they got busy with the women that was there. I mean, it is. Look, I'm not gonna lie. It is an old term, but if you want to call yourself a mulatto, fine. But calling Latino mulattoes, eh, that's a stretch. That's a stretch. And people, and it's just that certain people go on and on regarding names and phenotypes and things. Okay, and people seem to forget that all of us are made in the image of God Almighty, and everybody is important. Everybody. It's just that unfortunately, let's keep it real. There's some people that's a challenge. It's a challenge to deal with. Yeah, it is. It is. Oh, before I forget, I know I forgot to mention this. The link to join the panel has been pinned. If anyone wishes to hit that link and opine regarding anything that we're talking about, by all means do so. If I never see you before, if I never heard from you before, I will insist that you come up in the backstage. Then make sure that no one tries to flash any adult related material, which would cause the people of YouTube to take down their stream. Now I know you're sick and tired I'm repeating this every live, but I will continue to do so because as long as there's sickos out there that get their jollies off trying to flash pornographic images and other people's lives, I will continue to state the same speech. Okay. And the reality is this: this is my channel. This is my platform. I govern what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. And those who cannot deal with it, I'm sorry. All I can say is don't let the door hit you with the good Lord split you. Now, here in New York, they're talking about another snowstorm. Um, we don't know how many inches of snow is going to fall. Um, and the fact of the matter is, we still have a lot of the snow that came down earlier this week. But I will say this much: because of the blizzard, my entire department worked remotely, which which was perfectly fine because Mondays and Tuesdays are my work day. Okay. Now, now let me explain to you what it is. I cannot get into too much into what I do because there's a thing called code of conduct. But what I will say is that 2 days out of the week, I'm able to work from home using a laptop. And the days that I usually do this are Mondays and Tuesdays. So it just so happens that when the entire department was working remotely because it did affect train service, subway service. It did affect bus service. And let's keep it real. For me to be trying to navigate mounds and mounds of snow and ice without slipping and falling at my age, no thanks. I would rather be safe than sorry. Okay. The next thing, okay. Now, again, I know I've said this before, but I have to keep saying it again. I do appreciate all the love and all support that all of you have given me regarding my channel, especially when it comes to the growth. Okay. Because believe it or not, I am approaching 1,700 subs. Of course, the issue is trying to get the watch time so I can be monetized. And of course, what happened is I have two separate audiences. Okay. I have those who love watching my shorts, and I have those who love watching my lives. Okay. And of course, one of the things that I find, you know, gratifying is the amount, the percentage of women that actually catch my content. Okay, so let me just go into an app so I can just give me a moment. So, for example, almost 30% of my audience of the views come from females. I mean, in all fairness, this has never been a channel. specifically geared to men or specifically geared to women. It does that. More men watch my content. And let me just give you the breakdown as far as the age groups. Um, the largest percentage of people who view my content are from 65 and above, and that's over 25%. And then the next group is the age group, which is from 55 to 64, and that's almost 23%. And that's kind of like um, your Generation X and baby boomers. And then there's a tie between the 35 to 44 age group and the 45 to 54 age group with 18%. And then 40% of the what catch my views are from 25 to 34. So I find it um, really gratifying regarding um, the amount of love and support I've gotten. Okay. Now, there's a couple of things that I'm going to talk about, and then I'll start to wrap this up. Um, Now, I think what I'll do is probably this weekend, I'll probably do a poll regarding um, what should be the next topics. Okay. Um, there's certain things I'm going to try to do. One of them is try to focus on see if I can do a better job regarding um, the thumbnails. Now, I admit I am not the most creative when it comes to thumbnail creation, but I'm going to see if I can tweak it a little. And try to do a couple reaction videos, reaction lives. But the thing is, it gets to be a challenge because um, I don't want to get hit with a community strike. And I know you can say fair use, fair use, fair use, but the problem is you have to be careful because anyone can easily report you record even when you're just reacting to a video. Okay. Let's see. Excuse me. It's just that I am very thirsty. Now let me ask. Now, you know what Paul probably going to do tomorrow? Who you think is going to win the Super Bowl? Whether it be the Seattle Seahawks or the New England Patriots. I mean, I think both teams are good. It'll be interesting to see um, which team actually wins the Super Bowl. I think if the Patriots win, excuse me, Super Bowl 60, I think it's going to be like their seventh Super Bowl, and I think that will be a new record. Okay. So one more. Okay, one more thing that I will talk about um, before I do wrap up this journey. I mean, at times it could be a challenge trying to create content. Okay. Um, there are times when we go through I call it like a dry season where when you struggle to try to create interesting topics to talk about, and sometimes you go through a struggle trying to trying to determine what's going to be a good topic. Okay. And sometimes, you know, you're going to have like a brain fog and you have no clue um, what to talk about. But I think I'll do some more. I think I'll do some polls this weekend. Um, Give the audience an opportunity to opine. Okay. Now, another thing I have to think about, as far as the ranches is concerned, I mean, there are people that are that have gotten ranches, but I haven't seen them on this platform for months or even years. Okay. Now, when it comes to the ranches are concerned, um, it's a privilege, but it's also a responsibility as well. Okay. Because when I make you a mod, that means that I'm going to be calling on you um, to keep an eye on the chat and make sure that you block those who are being toxic, being offensive, or just causing trouble. Okay. But if it's going to be like months or years and you have not even bothered um, to make a comment or get in the chat, um, maybe you're not entitled to be a mod. Okay, that's something that I'm gonna think. That's something that I'm gonna have to think about. Now, one thing I have not heard anything about um, whether or not Congress is going to come with a budget resolution, or they're actually going to create a budget that's going to last the rest of the fiscal year, or there's going to be another government shutdown. And I hate this, and I hate to say this, but I have to keep it 100. Ever since the Republicans took over the House and the Senate, they have not created a budget that lasts the entire fiscal year. There have been multiple times when we narrowly avoided a government shutdown by creating a budget resolution. All it does is just kick the can down a little bit. That is not responsible leadership. That's us being lazy. And one thing I have to say about this Congress, that this has been the least effective Congress when it comes to passing legislation. And of course, everyone is talking about the Democrats is going to, be successful with the midterms. They're gonna have to give some sort of compelling reason why they vote for them. I mean, just simply saying that the Republicans suck, that's not that's not a convincing argument. But we shall see. And one more thing that I am going to talk about. If you're going to make accusations about anybody, please, and I said please, produce your evidence. Because it's so easy to make a baseless accusation. It's so easy after simply saying this person's guilty of this person's guilty of that, and not produce any evidence. And and that's the main reason why um, Zacharias was banned from this channel. Okay, first of all, he had made his accusations that I was a racist. Okay, and when given the opportunity to produce his evidence, he couldn't. Now, never mind the fact that I have that all different types of people had appeared on this platform. Never mind the fact that all different types of people have been my mods. Never mind the fact that I never say a racist remark or anything close to a racist remark. But this is a pure example of someone making an accusation and not produce any evidence to support it. And frankly, you're gonna lose a lot of respect from me. It's that simple. And I get it. He has mental issues and things of that nature. I get it. I get it. And believe me, I've tried as much grace as possible. It's just that after a while, you just have to learn to say no. You just have to learn how to say goodbye. You just have to learn to have to shut the door and not open the door to him again. And I don't wish him any ill will. I do, I do hope that if he needs therapy, that they get the therapy he needs to deal with whatever trauma that's been going on. Because the reality is this: hurt people hurt people. That's the reality. I will enjoy being away this weekend, even with my union family. So the next time I will go live will be Sunday night at 10 o'clock. And of course, the playback end, you're more than welcome to do your thing. You're more than welcome to enter whatever comments that you wish. Just try to keep it respectable, okay? And of course, I'm going to close the same way that I always close. We must do everything possible to avoid the presence of the mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by the stupidity and massive insanity. And whatever we say or do, we should do for the glory of God. And with that being said, I'm going to wish all of you a very wonderful good night. I'm going to wish all of you a wonderful weekend. Make the most of it. Um, if it does, if we do get hit with another snowstorm, um, please reach out to those who are elderly. As far as making sure that they're okay, making sure they have everything that they need, making sure that if they need errands to be done, that you take care of it, and I'm sure they will definitely appreciate it. And with that being said, I so say have a blessed night. Take care and peace.